this season. They can score with the best of them. Their struggles, though, have come home versus road, and they're trying to get a win in a road building in conference play.
Yeah, Acuff told us before the game, we must get off to better starts on the road. That's what doing them at Auburn and at Georgia. See if the Razorbacks can get off to a better start, led by Acuff.
Well, John Calipari and this Arkansas team, undefeated at home, struggling away from home, and an Oklahoma team that has lost 6 in a row as Porter Moser looks to snap the losing streak. Xavier Brown brings it up the court for Oklahoma. They're coming off of a heartbreaking loss on the road at Missouri. They got beat by a pair of buzzer beaters, one to force overtime and then one to win it. McGee finds Pack on the left side. His baseline drive gets cut off. McGee tries to work it inside and off the window. Mohamed McGee gives him 7 a game. Gets Oklahoma off on the right foot. Arkansas made a change. It's starting 5 a couple of games ago. DJ Wagner comes off the bench now, and Malik Thomas combines with Darius Acuff Jr. to form the top freshman scoring duo in the country. Here's Tate Davis trying to work it inside, and now Pack from deep straight away. And rebounded by Carter Knox.
And you see Oklahoma getting back in a hurry. They must stop Arkansas in transition. That's where the Razorbacks are their most dangerous.
We'll pick and roll with Thomas and Pringle. Here's Brazil straight down the lane.
And you wonder why he's jumping at that shot fake. Well, the big fella Brazil is shooting over 40% from 3. So bites on the shot fake. One dribble gets all the way to the rim.
Arkansas coming off the come from behind win against LSU. The Sooners have been stuck in some tight games recently. 3-ball from Reed, and Darian Reed knocks his first shot down.
A really nice shot there by Reed. And for Oklahoma, one in white, Brown. I mean, rightfully so, we highlighted Acuff, but Brown can fill it up. But he's got to be a distributor as well for Oklahoma.
Brazil, huge size advantage, and he displaces Pack, goes to the right hand. Meanwhile, it's pulled down by Tate Davis.
Yeah, Oklahoma can play some small lineups. They've got to hold their own on the defensive glass, make Arkansas be one and done as they were right there.
Pack guarded by the freshman Acuff. They solved that and work it inside. Brazil with the swap, but it came after the foul. And Nick Pringle will get whistled for his first.
A couple tough catches in traffic by McGee. Avoiding the turnover, getting the foul.
Porter Moser in his 5th season as the head man here in Norman. We asked him how he's dealing with this losing streak and the motivation with his players. He said, I'm truthful, I'm honest with them. The key is accountability, because I know with the strength of schedule in the SEC, if we can solve this, we'll have a bunch of quad 1 opportunities in front of us, and we could make some noise. Similar to how Oklahoma turned it on late last year to make it into the NCAA tournament.
The energy and passion is there every day, win or lose. But I do think the way this roster was built for Oklahoma, with guys that have played at a high level and won at a high level, has allowed their locker room to stay connected, get over the loss, and try to get it behind them here at home.
How about Pringle cleaning it up?
Well, and that's what happens where Acuff draws so much attention in the lane. A couple guys go towards 5, and then nobody there to rotate down on the offensive glass.
Oklahoma guard shot the ball really well against Missouri after a mini slump. They struggled in a road loss to South Carolina. Here's Davis for 3. Couldn't hit the rim, and Arkansas has a chance for a run out. 2nd in the country in fast break points. Acuff out the window.
That's where you're absolutely cooked if you're Oklahoma, if you don't get back. And that air ball 3 is like a live ball turnover because nobody's in position to get back.
Brown guarded by freshman Malik Thomas. Here's Pack. And now Darian Reed trying to direct the offense. Oklahoma wants to be very deliberate if they don't get an early bucket.
That was a nice set by Oklahoma, but the switchability as Pack hits a tough shot over Brazil. But that shows you the versatility of this Arkansas lineup, with Brazil being able to switch out on a sub-6-foot guard.
Brazil size advantage again on Pack. And now he turns into a distributor, and a beautiful feed to Pringle.
You got to disguise that double team a little bit more. Brazil saw it coming and just picked it apart.
Xavier Brown into the paint. And now Pack with Acuff guarding it. Here's Reed. 9 on the shot clock. Slides through, and Brazil yanks it down. Arkansas scoring nearly 90 points a game. Over 20 of those come in transition. They love to push the tempo. Cross court for 3. Good. What a start for Arkansas as Carter Knox knocks it down.
And he is an X factor for this team. He shoots it over 40% at home. On the road, it dips into the 20s. And so to see him make one early is a great sign for Arkansas.
Davis couldn't get anybody to budge. And now Brown coming off of a 19-point game in Columbia. 7 on the shot clock. Here's McGee. Too strong for McGee. Gets it back. Got it up, but too late. And a shot clock violation. You know, Arkansas team not necessarily known for its defense.
Arkansas was looking to get off to a better start. So far they have on the road here. As you see the double team, just too predictable. Easy money at the basket for Pringle.
The previous shot and shot clock is under review.
Stats suggest that is the first off-the-dribble 3 Mark Mitchell has ever made in his career. 4 seasons of major college basketball.
And even though Oklahoma did not play perfect, you felt like, as a coach, we did everything but win the game. And yes, there were some breakdowns there at the end, but those were some clutch shots by Missouri. And Coach Moser said, similar to what our colleague John Sunvolt said, because the continuation rule, it's changed their line of thinking in terms of, do you foul up 3, because teams have gotten so crafty at getting a shot off really quick and going to the free throw line for 3.
Here's Brazil. That's an offensive foul on the Arkansas big man. It's his first.
Brazil's had a few of these back downs here, and this time Reed does a nice job, because the rest will let you have that one bump, but once you start to displace like that multiple times, they're going to blow the whistle.
You mentioned the little things that didn't go Oklahoma's way and their lack of execution late in the game, one of which was starting the go-ahead bucket too soon on the clock. Beautiful feed and flushed by Tay Davis. Yeah. And it's those little details of accountability that Porter Moser has taken to his team and said, listen, we're going to be in this situation again. The difference is learning from our mistakes and executing. Corner 3 is short. Rebounded by OU's Xavier Brown as the Sooners look to reclaim the lead. The shot by Brown is good, and Oklahoma back in front.
Really nice read by Brown. He says, if nobody's going to stop the ball, you're going to let me just walk into a 3, then I'm going to take that.
Acuff finds his classmate Thomas. Ewan is there on the glass, and a putback. Oklahoma did not fare well on the boards against Missouri. That cost them.
Yeah, if Ewan comes to play, I think he could be a big star in this game, because Oklahoma is thin down low. They've struggled against opponents' 5 men. See if 12 can get it going.
And the left wing 3 is off the mark. Yelatansev, big Russian, keeps it alive. He just joined the team before the semester. Rejected by Brazil, who's impacting this game on both ends. Knox, breakaway, 2-hand jam.
And that's what Brazil brings to the table. That rim protection, and then that's easy fast break points on the other end. You cannot run with Arkansas, so you've got to limit those transition opportunities.
2 of OU's 5 makes have come from deep. They really shot the ball well in the road game at Mizzou Arena. And there's another one that goes down, and a turn for Darion Reed. He's got the Arkansas bench guys laughing, whatever he said. Acuff, nice spin, looking for an assist. Thomas floater, he's missed 2 of those.
Well, and Oklahoma's going to live with Acuff having to get it up to the corner. Then they've got to recover, as they did there.
And Reed sneaks it by Brazil.
Where does he come to play early? A couple 3s, finishing up the rim.
And then high flying jam on the other side as Ewan throws down the lob.
And that's what you see Acuff can do, his court vision. As an opposing coach, you say, look, I know he can score, I know he can pass. We just got to make him one or the other. Once he's both, you really have no chance.
Brown will reset it. This one will get under single digits in the shot clock. Nice spin, but it falls off. And a putback there.
Nice inside rebounding position there. Good tipping.
And a bucket on the other side by Ewan. He's got half dozen early, nearly to his career season average.
Yeah, I mean, he's wired to score. He is a big man that comes in the game looking for his. And like I said, I think this could be a really good matchup for him.
Both teams over 50%. Oklahoma at 53%. And Arkansas at 60%. Darren Reed got off balance, still got it.
What a tough two that was. Got the shot back. I thought he got 2 off balance there, but found a way.
He's been in double figures 11 out of the last 15, and he is there again with 10 points early. Ewan crosses over Ielitansu, and then he threw it away in an Arkansas turnover. Oklahoma's made 4 of 5. Arkansas has made 4 of 5. We are off to a sizzling start here in Norman. Ewan came in looking for his shot. He found it on the feed right in front of the rim, and then Darren Reed gets off balance. Doesn't matter. It's like driving through the slush. Just put the pedal down.
Tom plays. All he does is do things for the team, and he is a reason why Arkansas has a chance to go deep into March because of plays like that.
And he's just off the bench right now. John Calipari calls him Billy Goat. 4 on 2 the other side. Knocks lob. There he is, but he couldn't finish it. Gets it back and goes to the line. And this is our first Super Tuesday glue guy payoff. We come in the game, we run the graphic, you go to the free throw line.
I was going to say, if you help force a turnover, get a lob dunk. But the activity here, nice job by Arkansas, surprising Oklahoma with that half-court trap. Caught him off guard, and then the athleticism takes over for Arkansas despite not finishing. Billy Richmond doing great things for this Arkansas team, and you talk to this staff, they really think he's got a spot at the next level because he can defend and he loses himself the team, and they always ask, can you impact winning? This guy impacts winning, and he's a star in his role.
And he does it instantly. According to our friends at Hog Stats, that is now the 5th time in the last 6 games that he has scored within the first 31 seconds after entering the game. Back out to Reed, which is even more impressive because he's not a scorer. He's a glue guy. Respectfully, Dane Bradshaw. And now here he is, taking it right to the rack, wasting no time.
Man, he just goes in with a full head of steam there. Nice Euro step. Gets to his right hand.
Is calling somebody a glue guy like calling a quarterback a game manager? Is it kind of part insult?
Not at all. Look, everybody comes to college to be a premier glue guy. That's what my guy Seth Davis knows on his glue guy accolades. It's the only award I ever got. And by God, it's going to be the most important award out there.
Jeff Wonkwell with the bucket. OU by 3. Sooners looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. They've lost games in every manner you could think of. A-Cup draws a foul on Wonkwell on his drive.
And to your point, this Oklahoma team has come out inspired, focused, and not just because they're making shots are they playing well. I mean, their effort has been there. Yes, Arkansas has gotten a couple clean looks in transition, but this looks like an Oklahoma team playing with a great sense of urgency.
So Darius Acuff Jr. at the free throw line. He's been in double digits every game of his Arkansas career. Coming up next on ESPN Super Tuesday rolls on with Duke Miles, Tyler Tanner, and Vandy playing host to Otega Oweh, Kentucky. That's in Nashville, which was hammered by the winter storms and ice. We hope everybody is moving along and warming up well in Music City, and they got a big one tonight. 9 o'clock on ESPN and available on the app. Acuff's double-digit streak is one of the best in the SEC since Malik Monk scored 10 or more in 30 straight games in 2016-17. Of course, playing for John Calipari.
What I love about Acuff is he loves the big moment. He loves the late game situations. He doesn't shy away from that.
Back with the lob, and they're able to get it to go.
Great preparation there by Oklahoma. Arkansas doesn't press a ton, but they were still prepared for a couple looks they might get. This is the matchup here. Tay Davis has some good length to bother Acuff's mid-range game. If he can send him to the rim, better off.
Well off the mark, rebounded by Nigel Pack. Pack with the lob again. This one got stuck on the other side, but the Sooners are there to pick it up, and Pack eventually gets the bucket.
And that's where you can beat Arkansas at their own game. Arkansas is really fast going to the offensive end, but boy, getting back, they get stuck in mud like they got a weight vest on.
It's downhill on offense. It's uphill on defense. DJ Wagner with the driving kick. Carter Knox can't hit it. Arkansas came in 14th in the country in three-point percentage, but 0 for 3 to start this one. They don't stop Brown, and then it's blocked by Ewan. Oklahoma will have it with 21 on the shot clock.
And Arkansas, they've got to get better in their transition deep. They've got to get a little bit better in their half-court ball screen defense. It reminds me a little bit of as we take another look at the block. A couple years ago, John Calipari's team with Reed Shepard, Rob Dillingham, Trey Mitchell, all the firepower they had there, making them a top 10 offense, just like this Arkansas team. But their kryptonite was their half-court defense, and that's what we're seeing a little bit right now.
Back out of the corner, and to your point,
you just can't lose Pack. You got to figure out a way if you're switching or getting through that. But last thing you want to give up is a corner three to a dynamite shooter.
Largest lead of the game for the Sooners. A takeaway by Brown, and couldn't save it on the baseline. 7-0 Oklahoma run.
Well, he's going to set a screen and then get a screen. And, man, Arkansas just loses containment. Zero communication on that special teams type plays. You can steal a few points on those baseline out-of-bounds plays. You got yourself a chance for an upset. Really impressed by this Oklahoma start.
Shaping up as another sluggish road start for Arkansas. We were talking with John Calipari in the gym last night when the Razorbacks came over to get some shots up, and I said, what are we going to get? He said, I have no idea. I've got one team that's really good. I got another team that's not very good, and I have no idea which one is going to show up.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have witnessed a couple of those. We saw it. Tough start on the road at Auburn, then again at Georgia. They're able to come back against Georgia, but it took so much energy that Georgia withstood the big run in the end.
Nice move by Tate Davis to go right around his defender.
That's just too easy there. I mean, Tate Davis just does a right-hand drive, as you see some of the slow starts from Arkansas on the past two road trips.
That was a blitz by Georgia to score 19 of the first 22. Malik Thomas gets his first bucket.
And Georgia, the one team that's been able to defend Arkansas while running with them. I think it's important, Oklahoma, if you can score early in transition, great. If not, try to run a little bit of clock, limit the possessions, disrupt the flow of this Arkansas offense.
Pack stops and pops and drops another three for Nigel Pack. He's into double figures, and Oklahoma leads by 11.
And when you have those defensive breakdowns, all of a sudden the offense gains their confidence. When they've gotten a few easy ones, then even the more difficult long-range shots start seeing a big run.
McGee with the deflection, trying to pay it off. And Brown picks it up and puts it in. Another second chance point for Oklahoma. It causes John Calipari to use a timeout. The lead for Oklahoma is 13. What a start for the Sooners. Struggling at the half at Rutgers in the sandwich shop, but man, they got some talent. How about Illinois this weekend?
Getting the big win on the road at Purdue. What a game that was. And of course, Wagler with the 46, but the way they closed that game out with multiple guys stepping up, hitting huge threes, not allowing Purdue to get the critical stop they needed. That was one of the games of the weekend.
Wagler was one of 3 freshmen to score 40+ in college basketball this weekend. There were 7 freshmen to score 30+, and that includes Darius Acuff Jr. for the Razorbacks, who is currently on the bench. Here's Xavier Brown, lost it, 5 to shoot. He's going to launch. Thought he had lost his dribble and finds nothing. Thursday night, we have an ESPN women's doubleheader. Olivia Miles and TCU play host to Kansas in our first game, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Then Lawrence Siegler and Louisville take on Nunu Aguera and Stanford at Maples Pavilion. Both available on the ESPN app.
Acuff checks back in the game. We spoke to him earlier about some of the conversations Coach Calipari's had with him about body language and mood. He said, look, it hasn't been horrible body language. Just I got to keep talking to my team as things go against us. If they see me sulk a little bit, I got to pick them up no better spot than that midi right there that he loves in that right slot.
He's got a half dozen now. That was part of Porter Moser's scouting report. Now Acuff loves that right third. Little scoop falling away. And a foul against Arkansas on the rebound. That'll be charged to Brazil.
Tom, I think one of the things, too, as a visiting team, when you go in to a road environment where it's not a packed house, there's weather conditions. Like, it's not going to be the loudest, most hype arena you've been in if you're Arkansas. Can you manufacture your own energy and play like the more desperate team, even if you're not? And right now, Arkansas's got to find that as they find themselves down 11.
Correction, the last foul was on Ewan, and this place is filled in very nicely. They basically open the doors, and we understand the winter weather has kept you cooped up the last few days. Come on out and enjoy some Oklahoma basketball. They've gotten a show so far. Knox goes down but finishes.
$2 beer, too? Yeah.
Yeah, and you're $6 lighter.
$10.
Free pizza, $2 beer. Two Hogs fighting for the rebound. It's Brazil who whips it down.
And that's one I think Oklahoma can take later in the clock. Run some time off that shot clock. Control tempo.
Brazil shares it. The right wing three from Acuff. And Porter Moser uses a timeout. Hogs have done their work. It's now a 7-0 run for Arkansas to make it a 6-point game.
Acuff Jr. put on a show. Those 31 points. Again, made his final 10 shots in the second half to carry Arkansas. And again, what I love about him is he's got a confidence and swagger. He's the best player on the court. You know it. I know it. More importantly, he knows it. And he carries himself that way with a confidence that I think spreads throughout his team.
24 in the second half on 10 of 11 shooting. Pack, again, a well-traveled Nigel Pack has 3 threes in his first half. He's coming off of a 25-point game on the road at Missouri.
I love his shot preparation. I mean, he's got those legs loaded, shot pocket ready, lets it go.
Thomas launches over Brown. Hogs 1 of 6 from deep. Ineotansa with the screen, gets it back. This came over in December from Siberia. Joined the team December 28th. Got hot shooting just like Nigel Pack.
He's coming off 25 at Missouri. He gets 3 threes a game, which is 4th in the SEC, but we're already seeing him on fire early in this one. 4 triples now just in the first half.
Ewan took a bump and rolled it home.
If I'm Arkansas, I'm going to Ewan quite a bit. I think he's got a great favorable matchup no matter who's in the game for Oklahoma.
Brown crossed over Thomas and was able to induce the foul. Nigel Pack, K-State to Miami to Oklahoma. He's feeling right at home tonight.
Yeah, check out his shot preparation for Pack. I mean, he does a terrific job being locked, loaded, and ready to fire. Here he comes. Boom. He's a catch and stick guy, but in case you think, oh, make him put it on the deck, that'll make him miss, forget about it. Pack feeling it early.
And we'll see at the half.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, Nigel Pack has been on the scene for a while. 6th-year player out of Indianapolis. Started at Kansas State. He was all-conference in the Big 12 as a sophomore. He has started all but 1 game throughout his career. Talking with the Arkansas coaching staff, and they were going over Nigel Pack, and they said, what's he got, like 5,000 points in his career? Close. He's one of 3 active with 2,000. And he's used to being in the spotlight and being a go-to guy.
And one of the struggles Oklahoma's had is trying to get he and Brown playing well in the same game. They did against Missouri, came up short in that tough overtime loss, but so far they've combined for 21 with Pack having 16.
Brazil again, nice move. Another ball fake, and both of his buckets have come on drive for the senior from over in Springfield, Missouri.
He's a good shooter from 3. I don't know that you got to just fly by him. I think you got to bait him into that shot contest, but certainly don't give him an open driving lane with that athleticism.
Here's Reed. Trying to size up Ewan. And rebounded by Malik Thomas, Pittsburgh native. John Calipari also from the Pittsburgh area. Malik said this is what I liked about John Calipari. All of his people and all of my people were all similar. Grew up huge fans of all Pittsburgh sports. From Sidney Crosby to Andrew McCutcheon to everybody on the Steelers. And a nice deny by Ewan inside. Acuff tried to get after it, and a foul as he got Eliatotsev across the forehead, it looked like.
Eliatotsev with a nice hustle play there, and they're going to need him to play big in this game. It doesn't mean he's got to fill up the stat sheet, but just try to be physical down low. I thought where Oklahoma really lost the game against Missouri wasn't so much the buzzer beater. It was the amount of points in the paint. So he takes one across the face there, and the offensive rebounds they gave up.
I'm a little surprised that they're not taking a second look at this. I'm not asking for any more replays than we need or monitor reviews. Foul charge to Ewan, his second. Brown guarded by Wagner. Here's Pack. He's got Acuff, the freshman, on him. And he is in his pocket.
Nice job by Acuff. That's an area he can improve, his on-ball defense.
Brown got by Wagner and finishes.
That was a really nice job by Brown, just kind of following the big man as a moving screen, almost a blocker towards the basket, snakes the defense.
Acuff to the baseline, fouled, and he's going to the line.
He is a true three-level scorer. He is good at the rim, he is good at the mid-range, and then he is good from three. And he said that mid-range shot has just always been in his bag. And he feels like, look, you're not always going to be able to get to the rim. And teams are going to send you in there intentionally and just try to play volleyball with it with big-time rim protection. I got to have that in my arsenal, and he certainly has.
Freshman from Detroit out of Cass Tech by way of IMG. He struggled from the free throw line in the second half of that LSU game. Just 1 for 5. But he got 3 double-doubles. We've never had a freshman in NCAA history average 19.5 points per game and over 6 assists per game. He's got 11 now, and it's an 8-point game.
Arkansas going to show a little bit of this press. Oklahoma beat it pretty easily earlier in the half, but Arkansas wants this tempo to get a little bit higher. I got to tell you, though, for Oklahoma to put up 46 with still a couple minutes to go, it says a lot about their capability as an offense, but also where Arkansas can be exposed a little bit on the defensive end.
With 10 on the shot clock, a contested 3. McGee is there, but lost it off of his foot. The 39th annual WWE Royal Rumble is set for Saturday in Saudi Arabia. Cody Rhodes will be there. You can stream it exclusively with ESPN Unlimited plan, live or on demand using the ESPN app. Sign up or log in with your TV provider. Unlock your access. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Big Stone Cold Steve Austin fan back in my day. Valentine's Day Massacre cage match in the Pyramid of Memphis.
Were you there? Were you present?
I was there, yes.
Not bad for Bass Pro Shops, huh?
My dad wondered, where'd I get that beer to toss Stone Cold at the age of 13? Had some explaining to do.
Richmond flies in and across the lane.
And that is a go-catch stampede drive that they call it, especially going to that left hand. Let his athleticism go to work.
Day Davis almost lost his footing, and it falls off the rim. Porter Moser's furious he didn't get a whistle on that one. Here's Acuff, crossover. Dumps it inside. Porter Moser said to his guys, we can't get caught in no man's land against Darius Acuff Jr. Either a scorer or a distributor, but he can't be both.
And not many players are going to jump in the air with all that traffic and not get a turnover. But Acuff finds a way to thread the needle on that pass, and give Pringle credit. A lot of big guys are going to drop that out of bounds, but he catches, goes up, easy finish.
5 assists, no turnovers, 11 points for Darius Acuff Jr. And he has powered Arkansas to a 6-0 run. Climb back in this game.
Those no turnovers are huge. Arkansas, they are at their best when they limit their turnovers, and Acuff Jr. a big reason for that.
McGee with the turnover. And the door open for Arkansas. Under a minute to play in the half.
There's some of that defense just blowing up that dribble handoff a little bit and closing out the half. So now all of a sudden, if you're Arkansas, you're like, hey guys, we gave up 46. We hadn't played our best, and we still possibly only down 2 or less to go into halftime. Big close here for Arkansas.
Just a wink ago, Oklahoma had a 13-point lead. Here's Acuff around Pringle's screen. Lobs to him. Beautiful look. What vision.
He's so good. He makes everybody else around him better. It's not just him being a superstar scorer, and he could have shot that himself. But if you're a big man, you love playing with somebody like that. If you're a shooter, you're spotting up, you love him too.
The crowd you're hearing is the Arkansas crowd. They were given a woo pig in that last timeout. They have traveled well over here across the border. 7 on the clock. Brown trying to work on Acuff. 3 to shoot. Brown into the paint. Fade away. Got it. Sooners needed that one, and they get it. Xavier Brown closes the half with a little fadeaway, and it's a 4-point Oklahoma lead.
Well, at the end of that Missouri game, they said, hey, we ran that play a little bit too early for Brown. He scored too quick. They get their timing down just right here at the end of the half. Similar shot, Brown, tough contested too. Nice first half for Oklahoma.
Sooners trying to snap a 6-game losing streak, and they got the lead at the half after leading by 13. After the break, it's back to the studio with Kevin Connors, Seth Greenberg, and Ron Slay, the Jeep halftime report.
And Sooner fans, a reminder that alcohol sales will conclude the 15-minute mark.
He's projected to be a lottery pick in the draft. He's put up incredible numbers. How's this for perhaps a preview? He's 4 points away from his 15.5 assist game, which would be the most for an SEC freshman since John Wall in 09-10.
And he doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, 0 in that first half. So when you have a point guard, you can trust the ball in his hands. He's not going to overthink it or try to do too much. There he is. A great read there. Gets him, knocks a wide open 3 on a nice swing pass, one-handed.
7 assists, 0 turnovers for Darius Acuff Jr. Meanwhile, Oklahoma shot the ball really well in the first half. We'll see if they can keep up that offensive production in the second half. 1.4 points per possession for the Sooners.
And Acuff getting the assignment on Pack.
And Pack turned to the mid-range. Oklahoma led for 16 minutes of the first half, including that 13-point advantage before the Razorbacks closed late. Here's Malik Thomas with the drive. He has missed 3 floaters in this game already. McGee got turned onto his shoulder, and we'll get a whistle, and we'll get an Oklahoma timeout. It looks like Darion Reed called a timeout with Oklahoma having the possession, so that'll take us to a timeout. It'll be Oklahoma's ball on the baseline. When we return, Sooners by 1. Well, Oklahoma has shot the ball really well tonight. In fact, 44% from deep, but Arkansas still right in this game. Sooners coming off of a game at Missouri where they knocked down 12 threes. That was a heartbreaking loss for Porter Moser. 24 lead changes and 15 ties in that one. If it got any worse, it was after the game. They couldn't fly out. They had to drive to Kansas City, hole up in a hotel there, do the film study and study all the mistakes you made in a 1-point loss. A lot of contact, and he would be going to the free throw line.
Good patience there by Oklahoma not to force up a tough shot. As Davis kind of got stuck with the ball, Pack did a good job continuing to move, and then McGee gets into the lane. Look, this is an Oklahoma team that is absolutely desperate. They're on that 6-game losing streak. If you look at a year ago, they started 3-10 in the SEC, finished 6-12, get a tournament bid. Now, what's different this year than last, they had a better resume coming into conference play that was helping them stay on that bubble. However, there's still a ton of quad 1 win opportunities ahead of Oklahoma, but you got to start racking them up, especially on your home court. So a desperate, urgent Oklahoma team right now.
The 5 ranked wins last season, looking for their first this season. Now a 3-point lead for the Sooners. Acuff gets it right back. Here's Thomas trying to get downhill. Knox left his feet, almost turned it over. Freshman Acuff with 5 on the shot clock. Pull up 3. And the ball kicked around but controlled by the Sooners. Here's Darian Reed. Nice bounce inside. Reverse won't go. Got twisted around and McGee couldn't finish it. Thomas going to work on Brown. Freshman to freshman. Acuff can't hit. And knocks the board. Another chance for the Hogs. Rolls it in with his left.
There's too many clean looks there for Arkansas. Oklahoma got away with one, leaving Acuff wide open in the corner. And then you just get a mismatch down low here where Knox takes advantage of the smaller Pack, 5'10".
Arkansas tried to exploit that early in the first half when Pack got stuck guarding Brazil a couple of times.
See Acuff just really trying to deny Pack the ball. They're going to try to make sure he does not get the ball back.
Doing the same thing with Brown. And Thomas tied him up. Got whistled for the hold. It's the second personal on Malik Thomas.
I think you're right, Tom. With Brown and Pack are really the 2 threats for Oklahoma on the perimeter. And Arkansas is saying, hey, look, we're going to try to deny those guys the ball and play 3-on-3 with the rest. I feel like we can win that game in the half court, says Coach Calipari.
Well, those 2 guys really struggled the 2 games going into the Missouri game. They were in a mini slump where they combined to go 2 for 24 from 3. And they each turned it up. It was one of the best games they've had as a duo with Oklahoma. And an Oklahoma turnover. Sooners have coughed it up 6 times tonight.
Well, and not only are you denying those playmakers the ball, when you get it into the bigs' hands, the interior passing a little bit more turnover prone than your ball handlers.
Acuff with the floater. He said that's the game. That's a shot that's taking my game to the next level.
I mean, that is such a tougher shot than he made it look. To pull up onto and over the outstretched arms, that is special.
Hogs' first lead since it was 14-13. That was 5 minutes into the game. Davis ran into trouble and got bailed out with the foul by Pringle.
Take a look at Acuff, just rarely out of control, gets in the paint off 2, and then just on a dime, gets that ball up and over Wagee.
It was really interesting talking to him about this shot after shoot-around today. He said, I feel this is the most important shot in basketball. Yeah. Whether it's the most important shot to him or to others remains to be seen, but we've seen that he's a 3-level scorer.
He absolutely is, and he's comfortable at each spot. I mean, if you take away one, he's not like, oh, great, I got to shoot my mid-range shot. I mean, he is so confident in all 3 of those levels. And I think a big key is we've seen other teams, Auburn in particular, where they said, look, he's going to score some, but we got to take his passing away. I thought they crowded the paint very well and then closed out on shooters quickly. But right now, with the way the scoring is going, even though Oklahoma's played a really good half, it's starting to get into Arkansas's favor from a tempo and playmaking standpoint for Acuff.
Zay Davis knocks down a pair of free throws. The question will be whether or not the Sooners can shoot at the same clip as they did in the first half. Elliot Totsiv on the floor now for Oklahoma, trying to help out on Acuff. Lost it, got it back. Fell out. Here's Xavier Brown. Attacks the freshman and kicks into the corner for a 3. And Acuff brings it the other direction.
Great job by Oklahoma. Those corner threes make you the most vulnerable in transition if you miss them, but all white jerseys were back.
Acuff, lob. Pringle back outside. Thomas from 18. Yes, sir. Malik Thomas gets his second bucket of the game.
What an athletic play by Pringle to catch that pass in the air and know that he had a teammate on the opposite side. You can't swing it quicker and better than that.
Thomas was a McDonald's All-America. Arkansas had a game earlier this season where they started 4 Burger Boys. First time they had done that in program history. Stolen away by Thomas, and he loses it on the sideline.
And there's a timeout on the floor.
We'll take a look at Acuff throwing it up to Pringle. He just catches in the air and says, why need to come down if I can just skip it right here in the air? Athletes all over the place for the Razorbacks.
Jalen Lowe for the rest of the season. Cam Williams out with a broken foot. Jaden Quaintance not expected to play tonight due to a knee injury. Yet somehow, even with all of those injuries, Mark Pope and the Cats have learned how to win close games, and including that 17-point comeback against Tennessee a couple weeks ago.
He has done an outstanding job keeping that team together. I thought that heroic shot at LSU was a good moment. I wasn't sure it was going to carry over into a winning streak, but what a job he has done keeping them connected despite the injuries.
What a move by Acuff. He gave the play call and then crossed over and just blew by his defender by getting to the rim. Hogs by 3.
Well, and he does that against a taller, longer defender, Davis, and he still finds an angle.
Davis is probably the best on-ball defender for Oklahoma, especially with his length. Here's Pack. Pack can't spin it home. Brazil gathers it. Oklahoma now 0 for 5 in the second half. Thomas 3. Knox mistimed his jump. And Xavier Brown tracks it down for OU.
Arkansas has had some good, clean looks from 3, but just 2 of 11 for a team that's been shooting really well from deep.
13th in the country coming in tonight. Davis kisses it off the glass.
He is a good straight line driver to his right or left. Let's see if he can do one of the toughest tasks. He's had to guard Phylon a couple weeks ago. Now he's been trying to get Acuff.
Acuff just blows right by Ilya Tontsev at 6'11".
I can promise you that wasn't a design switch. I mean, you don't want to put that matchup against Acuff.
Acuff now 17 points and 7 assists. 15 straight games with at least 15 and 5. The best streak since John Wall was playing at Kentucky in the SEC. Xavier Brown has 11.
He's such a difficult cover as Brown because he has this hesitation dribble as part of his normal routine. It looks like he's almost carrying the ball, but you don't know if he's about to pick it up. Is he going to rise and shoot or continue his dribble?
Acuff guarded by Davis. Finds Knox, wants it back. Skips it to Brazil. And Brazil gets it rejected. Ilya Tontsev sent it the other way. Here come the Sooners. Nice step through, but off the mark, and
they're going to call a goaltend on that. And I think because of the way they slapped the backboard, that could qualify as basket interference if you shake the rim in any manner. Well, I got
Brazil
hand cut in the net to Brazil.
Yeah. John Calipari not happy about it, so Chuck Martin escorts him back. Easier said than done. He is all over this officiating court. Brazil got the net. I didn't see the basket itself dislodged or interfered with. If your hand comes up through the net or through the rim, it's automatic.
We'll see if that frustration carries over into the next whistle.
Knox trying to create some space.
Calipari's playing with a technical right now.
Drive rejected. Here's Ewan with the handoff. Gets it back. Thomas. The drive. Reverse. Beautiful move by the freshman Malik Thomas. And an offensive foul. McGee on an illegal screen. And he immediately is letting this crew hear about it.
I believe Porter Moser getting a warning as well. I think he felt like, hey, John Calipari talked you into that. his complaint caused you to call an illegal pick there, and I think that's where his beef is.
There are so many calls that could go either way in that Missouri game for Oklahoma. And Porter Moser certainly frustrated by a few of those in what was a double buzzer beater loss on the road. Wonko with the rebound. And Wonko will play key role for Oklahoma here in the second half. Woo. Brown all the way. Rebounded by Arkansas's Ewan. Here's Acuff pushing it 4-on-2. Brazil, where did he come from? Another assist for Acuff. 8 assists, no turnovers for the freshman, and Arkansas's got a 3-point lead. On Jones for 3. First attempt of the game, and he's tied it. Well, I don't know if it's a free pizza or the $2 beers, but the building's got some life here tonight. Ewan. Walk with it. We are tied at 61.
You wondered what it was like to have a 9'2" standing reach and a 41-inch vertical. This is what it looks like. Trevor Brazil, he never skips leg day.
Start for Tyrese Maxey. Cal has had 12 all-star starters, including 7 all-stars in a single game. He was telling us today, I really feel like we can break that record of 7. We're close to it.
Do you think that helps in recruiting?
Well, here's what helps. He told Tyrese Maxey he was going to the All-Star game before it became official. This was the text that John Calipari sent 5 days before All-Stars were announced to Reese. That'd be Tyrese Maxey. Can you get me your jersey so I can hang it? Love you, Coach. His NBA players have accumulated nearly $6 billion in contracts. To put that in comparison, that is in the neighborhood of the GDP of countries like Djibouti, Fiji, and Liberia. I mentioned 5.8, and Cal said, no, we're at 6 now.
The funniest part to me was when you asked him to screenshot and send that to you, and he handed you his phone, and you were saved under don't answer. It took you a minute to find it. I know that was awkward, but you handled it like a pro. 6
on the shot clock. Here's McGee to Brown. Brown's got a big on him now, pulls up. And a foul on the rebound, charged to Muhammad McGee. I went to Worldwide West first and wanted to forward that contact just to see what would happen.
Nigel Pack's going to enter in the game for Oklahoma, but after that sizzling first half of 16 points, 4 triples, Arkansas has really tried to deny him the ball. 9 and white. He has had 0 here in the second half. Oklahoma's got to get him going if they want a chance to pull off this upset.
Wagner has seen limited time tonight for Arkansas. It's been a freshman show. Thomas squeezes one off but can't connect.
He has been a different shooter on the road. At home, he is in fuego. On the road, even with these clean looks, he's been averaging under 30% from 3.
I thought you were going to go with 3-0, which would have been accurate. Whistle and a foul on Wagner. It's his first. So Pack and Brown on the floor at the same time. 2 premier transfers for this Oklahoma program. Xavier Brown transferred in from St. Joe's. Pack came to OU after 3 seasons at Miami. And that was a lazy pass. 3-on-2 the other way. Brazil all the way. Swatted to the bench. They do not call it goaltending. And since it wasn't called goaltending, you can't take a look at it.
That's right. And good effort here by McGee of coming in out of nowhere and doing something to Trevor Brazil he historically does to others. And it looked like he got it right there at the top before it got over the cylinder for sure.
Wagner looking for Thomas off the screens.
And this is a big plus-minus opportunity for Wagner with Acuff on the bench.
Another floater for Thomas. Finally got one.
His confidence is not going to waver. I love what he told Bo Mattingly in the Hog Pod earlier this year. When he was going through a shooting slump, they said, what was going through your head? He said, nothing. I mean, I put in the work. I know it's going to come. I love that short memory. You got to have amnesia if you're going to be a baller like that, and he certainly does.
They are all over Pack. Wagner denying him. So they try to work it inside, taken away by the Hogs. Billy Richmond gets tied up. And they'll get Pack for the foul.
Well, spins in traffic for the turnover, and then Billy Richmond gets tied up there. Clearly a foul. I think Oklahoma's gripe is the fact that, hey, it looked like it was a similar contact as the other end.
Yeah, foul was charged at Tay Davis, not Pack. Oklahoma's been sloppy with the basketball. Arkansas trying to take advantage. Here's Pringle. And now Billy Thomas. And drew the foul. Billy Richmond, excuse me, drew the foul on his baseline drive.
And that's really frustrating if you're Oklahoma. I mean, you played great, solid defense. You had Arkansas in a position where they were going to have to force up a tough late clock. Get bailed out with a whistle.
And it's a second on Davis, who's been in foul trouble. Until 13 fouls each of the last 3 games. Well, good for Wagner. OU has turned it over on 4 consecutive possessions. Pack spins and dishes. Hesitation, so they take it inside, and Davis turnaround is good. Tay Davis into double figures, tied at 63.
So where do you go if you're Arkansas? I think you try to run Thomas off a bunch of screens. He's your one natural scorer on the court right now.
Acuff will return to the scorer's table. He'll check in after the next media timeout.
They don't have a really dump it down big type player.
Thomas in touch again. He has turned it up.
Well,
8 of his 10 have come in the second half.
And because he's such a good shooter, he's got to be accustomed to guys running him off that three-point line, making him a driver, getting him to the rim. But he's getting better and better in that area.
You're going to let Davis work his way inside. Nobody stopped him. A dozen for Davis.
And that's the frustrating part if you're Arkansas. They got to get some traditional stops. You can't be a Final Four offense and a round of 32 defense and expect to go deep in March.
Brazil has all day to set up. Tay Davis the rebound. Sooners want to push. 2-on-1. Reed, no. They're on the glass though with McGee, and now Pack has time. Got it! Sooners take the lead on a Nigel Pack 3. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Bundle home and auto and save. Visit progressive.com. Arkansas just 2 of 16 from deep. They came in 14th in the country in three-point shooting. Nigel Pack, huge first half, quiet second half so far, though he just hit a big 3.
And he also had a nice drive and kick to the baseline that Tay Davis ultimately scored on. So he's been a playmaker the last couple of possessions for Oklahoma.
They cut back on the floor as mentioned for Arkansas. Here's Thomas. Nobody stops him. And he's able to get it off the glass and in.
Well, they tried to top block him, as they say, and not let him come off that screen. And then they got confused when he pivoted to a different direction.
Here's Tay Davis. They switched, and Davis couldn't finish, but he drew the foul from Pringle. And that is the 3rd personal on Nick Pringle.
Nice play there by Oklahoma. Because they're denying Pack and not helping off of him, you say, all right, how can I make my best shooter be also my best screener? And you'll see here, Pack's going to screen Richmond, knowing that Acuff is told not to help off, and that's what creates the paint touch there for Davis.
66% from the line on the season for the Notre Dame transfer. And he's got one more coming his way. Senior from Warren Central in Indianapolis, started his college career at Seton Hall before going to South Bend. Irish in a big one tonight with Virginia. Arkansas is shooting 73% on twos. It would be its best mark in a game this year, but just 13% from three, which would be its worst. They're on pace for a school record for 2-point field goal percentage over the course of the season. And Richmond shows why as he knifes his way in for another layup.
And that's knowing your game, being self-aware. He wasn't even thinking about the three. He catches that on the go and immediately gets to the rim.
They give Malik Thomas. It's his third personal.
Arkansas fouls on Malik Thomas, his third and the team's sixth.
The Oklahoma team looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. They had last lost 7 in a row back in early in the calendar year of 2017. McGee rejected it but couldn't find it. Richmond to Acuff. Here's Malik Thomas. Got Brown behind him, and they got the whistle, and they should count it with continuation. And they'll tell the Arkansas bench and John Calipari that it was on the floor.
Yeah, that continuous motion is really best if you're going off of 1 foot. It kind of penalizes you because it's a 1-foot play, unlike the NBA.
Reverse good. How about Malik Thomas tonight?
They can't stay in front of him, whether it's just on-ball defense or coming off of screens. And it's clear that Arkansas is calling his number every single time down in the half court.
Only thing he hasn't done is made a 3, and he's got a 3 in all 20 games this season for Arkansas. Darion Reed with the drive. Pack, quick release. And Richmond with the rebound. Hogs lead by 1. Feels like more, doesn't it? Already 7 lead changes this half. Acuff, mid-range. And Reed's got the rebound.
Good chance to push. They struggle in transition. You got 5 on 3.
Pack gives it right back to his backcourt mate Brown. Reed all alone for the rebound, and Knox fouls him hard. They're going to take another look at that one. As of now, it's the second personal on Carter Knox, and will they upgrade it will be the question.
And again, the transition defense, you give up an open 3, but then you got to just find bodies. There was 3 Arkansas players on one side of the rim there, and Reed all alone. We'll see if they upgrade this if it wasn't a play on the ball. I think it's just a good hard foul. And because he hits that ball, I mean, if he had come down on the head or neck area, I could see it getting upgraded.
Courtney Green, Vladimir Boyar-Tadal, and Marcus Pettigrew are officials tonight. Big one for the Razorbacks tonight on the road. They've won 3 out of 4. They get Kentucky at Bud Walton Arena on Saturday. And that's a Kentucky team taking on Vandy. As soon as we finish, it has won 5 in a row, and emotion should be high in that one.
Yeah, that was really the game that turned their season around.
Upgraded to a flagrant 1.
Wow.
Red 11.
What do you think they saw in
Oklahoma with
upgrade?
2 free throws and get the ball on the baseline with a 20-second shot clock.
John Calipari's got to be pulled back by his son, Brad.
I got to be honest, I just don't love the call. I get anytime you're above that head and neck area, but he got caught in the air. He's coming down, and I don't think he swipes at the head or neck area. And I think it was a good hard foul where he hit a lot of ball. Obviously, it was a foul. And I think it was a legitimate play on the ball, and I didn't find it to be excessive.
So Reed at the free throw line, and then Oklahoma will have possession. And in a game where we've already had 7 lead changes in this half, this is a massive call.
I think the bigger takeaway there, if you're John Calipari, is, hey, guys, let's not look at the rest. Why don't we figure out how to hustle back in transition defense? And when the shot goes up, let's put bodies on bodies. That's what caused the offensive rebound in the first place.
Sooners haven't made a field goal the last 2.5 minutes, but it's a 1-point lead for Oklahoma. 33rd meeting between these programs. Sooners have won 3 out of 4 against Arkansas with Porter Moser as the head coach as Davis throws it away.
Good possession there by Arkansas, knowing Oklahoma wanted to try to get Nigel Pack off of a screen for a corner 3. There's a zone look from Oklahoma. They played about 5% of that this year.
And Arkansas solves it with ease. Brazil, the assist to Ewing.
Yeah, too easy. Get the ball right there in the middle, and great interior passing by the 4- and 5-man for Arkansas.
1-point Arkansas lead with 4 minutes to play. Davis dances on Brazil. And Brazil, a great shot blocker, affected that even though he didn't touch it. Here's Akup. Lob. Finish! Billy Richmond, the third. The Razorbacks have brought great road energy tonight. They're calling the Hogs on the road.
You're exactly right, Tom. This is all triggered by Brazil's rim protection. And Billy Richmond, you can't throw it up too high for this guy. He's going to turn the court into a jump park. And Arkansas right now with these easy 2s at the rim against Oklahoma.
Phil is next.
Hi, KC. Thanks. We got a barn burner here at Oklahoma. Arkansas with a 3-point advantage, and it never ceases to amaze me. This Arkansas fan base, probably 35–40% of the attendance tonight.
Well, they're a passionate fan base, and they know they've got a special squad. They've retained some talent and added star freshmen. And as I've said many times, the way these freshmen across the country, and certainly here at Arkansas, are producing against such an old college basketball environment, when you've got 23, 24-year-olds, sometimes more than that, it really just shows you how talented these 18-year-olds are.
Well, just think of this Oklahoma team. Nigel Pack, a 6-year player.
It's not just the physicality, it's the IQ too, right?
Brown with 5 to play. Can't shake Brazil. 2 on the shot clock. Fade away over Brazil. Nice shot. Xavier Brown. So DJ Wagner running the point, and Darius Akup Jr. off the ball now with this set for Arkansas. Pack guarding Akup.
You've got to shrink the floor, make Arkansas shoot a 3. They've been killing you from 2.
And that's what they do. The kick out for 3, no good. Razorbacks have struggled from deep tonight, and that continues. Just 2 of 17 from 3. Brown looking for the lead. Into the corner for 3, Davis. Richmond the rebound. As well as Oklahoma played last time out, they got beat by a pair of buzzer beaters, one at the end of regulation and one in overtime.
I'm not sure you don't think about a timeout. Malik Thomas, one of your top offensive players at the scores table.
Akup, no. Ewing fouled on the putback. SEC Network has a quadruple header Saturday. Starts at 1 Eastern. It'll be capped off by 18th ranked Vanderbilt going on the road to Oxford. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Our thoughts with everybody throughout the Deep South, especially Oxford, Mississippi, got waylaid by the ice storm just like Nashville did. In fact, they had to cancel the women's game or postpone it that was supposed to be played yesterday. Ewing's got another free throw coming. 1 for 1 tonight.
This Arkansas team really has 8 starters, including Ewing right here that comes off the bench. What a valuable big man he is to come in on the road. 11 points, 5 of 5 from the field.
And what a difference in comparison to what Porter Moser has working with. He has started the same 5 every game this season. And this Oklahoma team very limited in its depth. Oklahoma down 3 with the basketball. We approach the 2-minute mark. Brown finds Davis. Passed up a shot. Ewan scared him away with it. Here's Pack for three. And a rebound and foul. Richmond gets whistled. His first.
Terrific effort by Wagee there, because Pack had a nice open look as Acuff got a little bit lost, and Wagee's just going to muscle his way into this. And Coach Porter Moser said before the game, he talked about transition D, and then he said 50-50 balls, 50-50 balls, 50-50 balls. I mean, he emphasized it so much. Said we've got to win those toughness, loose balls. They got one right there.
And so Wagee's effort on the offensive glass gets him to the free throw line. He has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds in 5 of his last 6 games.
Wagee for the Sooners. He's shooting 1 and 1.
Coming off of a lackluster performance at Missouri, first time this year he was held without a field goal and without a single rebound. To make it a 1-point game. Got it.
What a big play and free throw conversion for a 56% free throw shooter.
Lloyd Noble Center coming alive tonight. Acuff gets cut off. Here's Richmond. The sensational freshman Acuff off balance, can't finish. Here comes Oklahoma. 1:30 to play, down 1. Pack sizes it up. Whoa! Nigel Pack from Edmond. We have had 10 lead changes this half. 1:14 to play. Oklahoma trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Up 2 on the visiting Razorbacks. Nigel Pack has range.
Transition defense. But you've got to be inspired by this Oklahoma team playing desperate, and I think they've controlled the tempo for the most part. You see what happens when Arkansas has 73 or more possessions. They're 9-1. Only Georgia's been able to run with them. Fewer than 73, you give yourself a chance. I think that's exactly what this Oklahoma team has done.
Pack's hot shooting has carried Oklahoma. He's made 11 of his last 18 from deep over the last 2 games. Here's Knox back to Acuff. Darius Acuff Jr. puts it on the floor and draws the foul.
Not much of a different play than the previous trip down where Acuff was one-on-one with Tate Davis. And they like that matchup, does Oklahoma. And I mean, you don't love any matchup when you have to guard Acuff, but Tate Davis, with his length, they felt like he could bother Acuff a little bit. He has on the past couple possessions, but Acuff, so crafty, gets himself to the free throw line.
Acuff last scored at the 14-minute mark of this half. It is now an 18.9 assist game for Darius Acuff Jr. with 0 turnovers. McGee nearly lost the rebound. Oklahoma leads by 1 under a minute. Acuff guarding the sizzling hot Nigel Pack. Brown guarded by freshman Malik Thomas up front. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Brown. 5 to shoot. Pull up. Short. Acuff's got it. Arkansas's got a chance. 4-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Acuff going to work on Reed. All the way in and got it! And the freshman puts Arkansas ahead with a trip to the free throw line coming.
Well, Oklahoma did not get the matchup they wanted. After the missed shot, they were in scramble mode a little bit. Reed has not been the designated defender on Acuff. And they call that play chin. John Calipari had no hesitation as you see Ewan just clear out the space below like a police escort, giving him a lane right to the rack. And this kid is unafraid of the moment, wants the ball in his hands, and steps up big time, time in, time out.
20 points, 9 assists, 21, 9 assists, no turnovers for A-Cup. 21 seconds left, down 2. Oklahoma's go-ahead bucket at the end of overtime against Missouri came a little too early for Porter Moser's liking last time out. They get it in the front court and use a timeout. And so now the Sooners will have 17.9 to draw another one up. Moser talked to us about the accountability of doing the right thing and making the right decisions. At the end of the Missouri game, it wasn't the point guard or the shooter that was off. It was the 5-man setting the screen who started the play early, which allowed an extra 4.8 for Missouri to hit the game winner.
Yeah, I think in this situation, being down 2, that might change your thinking a little bit of, hey, we're not going to hold for the last shot or try to get a 3 walk-off buzzer beater. Let's try to score if it's there, leave ourselves enough time for an offensive rebound. And if we don't score, we have enough time to try to foul Arkansas, extend this game. One thing they did go over in the shoot-around was when Arkansas is defending the inbounds passer, sometimes they try to shade the backcourt pass. If they do, inbounds passer, throw it in, get it back for a handoff. Curious to see who he has as the inbound passer here. But bottom line is the ball needs to be in 2 people's hands. That's Brown and Pack. And Davis might be a third, but more so for a dribble handoff type situation for your 2 key guards.
11 offensive rebounds for the Sooners have led to 16 second chance points. And they're +5 on the glass against Arkansas tonight. Sooners trying to shed the weight of a 6-game losing streak. Pack will inbounds. Malik Thomas guards Xavier Brown. Here's Brown going to work immediately. Got it deep. Had it blocked. Taken down by Arkansas. And the Razorbacks are going to the line with 13 seconds left.
Trevor Brazil coming up huge. Such a terrific defender. And you get a really good look here. You get to the rim, but you're unable to get any contact or get yourself into the chest of the defender. If you just try to go straight up and down against the taller, more athletic 6'10" Trevor Brazil, you're going to lose that battle more times than not.
Second block of the night for Brazil. And the freshman Malik Thomas at the free throw line. 83% of the season. He made his first 15 of the year. The freshman not bothered by the pressure. And one more can make it a 2-possession game.
And how about the freshman on the road for Arkansas? This duo, Malik Thomas, Darius A-Cup Jr., combining for 36. No turnovers on the road. And in a second half where it was a little bit hard for Thomas to get going, but eventually he saw a couple go in, and he got hot from 2 when the 3 ball wasn't falling.
Darius A-Cup Jr. has been sensational tonight. 21 points, 9 assists, and 0 turnovers.
And there's a reason John Calipari throughout his career has said, I'll take talent over experience any day of the week.
Well,
and boy, does he have some talent with this freshman class.
A-Cup and Thomas have each scored 15 plus in the same game for the 10th time this season. That's the most of any freshman duo in Division I. And the most of any SEC duo combined.
A-Cup has been just sensational. Cool, calm, collected. He can score anywhere on the court, from 3, from mid-range, the floaters, at the rim, and you just trust the ball in his hands. And as great as his scoring is, he's just as good of a facilitator. That's what makes him such a threat. And it's really hard to beat Arkansas when he does both of those things. You can't get a better stat line than that as a point guard on the road in the SEC.
And he's done it in a tight game. We've had 9 ties and 15 lead changes. Arkansas at one point trailed by 13. This would be the Razorbacks' largest comeback of the season if they can finish it off.
Well, they've had some offensive firepower, but I'll give them credit. That first half defense, they gave up over 50%, over 40% from three. In the second half, they've gotten Oklahoma in check, holding the Sooners to just 37% from the field.
To make it a 2-possession lead, Malik Thomas, the freshman. Got it. It is a 4-point advantage with 13.2 left. Jadon Jones, 3-point threat, enters for Oklahoma. They need a miracle now to try to snap a 6-game losing streak.
You got to defend without fouling if you're Arkansas, and with all the rim protection athletes they have, an easy 2 might be easier said than done.
Davis drives, wants to kick it out, picks up his dribble. Pack fires it up with 5, and Arkansas is going to escape Norman with the win. The freshmen carry the Razorbacks to a 13-point comeback and a 4-point victory for Arkansas over Oklahoma. The Sooners dropped their 7th straight, and Arkansas has now won 4 out of 5. The SEC has more close games than any other conference in men's college basketball, and we get another thriller. Darius Acup Jr. leads away with 21, and the Hogs send a message with the win tonight. 83-79 our final for Dane Bradshaw, our fantastic crew. I'm Tom Hart. Let's get you to Nashville.